Welcome to the testing world. In this session, I'm going to cover data files. So first of all, we need to understand what is the use of the data file. Then I'll come up how we can create data files. And then I'll show you how we can use these data files in our test case. So first of all, what's the use of data files? We have created many test cases in the previous sessions. And we have seen whenever we want to enter some data, we are writing data into the test case level. So if I go to the Catalan Studio, and that's my test case, and we want to enter username, password, date of birth, so a lot of things we are writing here in the test case itself. But now the question is, if I want to execute the same test case with a multiple set of test data, I take an example of the login page. When we go for testing of the login page, we are performing the same actions but the different set of test data. Like my first test case would be enter correct username and correct password. Then second test case would be correct username, incorrect password. Third test case could be incorrect username, correct password. Fourth could be blank username, incorrect password or correct password. So we can have n number of test cases in which steps are same but test data is different. Now I want to execute my automation test cases with the different set of test data. And whenever you want to execute your test case with a different set of test data, concept of data files comes into the picture. So data files are the files which hold our test data. So whatever the test data we want to use in our test case, we can maintain in the data files, and then we can use the data in our test case. So how it's going to execute? So what will be the approach? If we maintain 100 test data in the data files and we have one test case, we will configure it like the same test case is going to execute 100 times with the different set of test data which is coming from the data files. So now number of test case would still be same, but the test case is going to execute with the different data which is maintained in the data files. And this process is called data driven testing. We have seen in the different automation tools, you have seen data driven frameworks as well. So now we have seen what's the use of data files. Now these data files can be created in Catalan Studio. Here inside the project we have data file section. Here we can create our data files. Data files can be defined as of different type like Excel, CSV, internal or database. That I'll show you. So first of all, I'm coming to the data files, right click, new. As of now, I'll show you how we can generate data files. Later on, I'll show you how we can use these data files in our test case. So first of all, I'm just moving to the test case, data files, new, test data. Okay, what's the name of the data you want to give? So I'm saying Excel reader. So first data type is Excel, then we are going to cover CSV, then database, and then internal. So we have seen here we have the four type of files: Excel file, CSV file, internal data or database. So means as of now I'm going to pick data from the Excel file. So what I do, I'm just going to the Excel and creating a Excel with the different set of test data. As of now I'm just using a dummy data. Later on we will create exact test data which we want to use in our test case. So I'm saying okay, that's my username column and that's my password column, and then I'm coming to it's my DOB, date of birth. So I can give like I'm giving the username like testing1, I'm giving the password like automation1, DOB I'm giving like 12/12/1984. You can give any. So in the same way we can maintain our test data. As of now I'm just doing the copy paste and updating wherever required. So here automation 2, and then I'm coming to automation 3, then I'm coming to automation 4, testing 4 and automation 4, and then testing 5 and automation 5. And also I'm just updating the date here, so I'm just updating year. Everything seems to be okay I'm just going to save it. So I'm saving it to my desktop. There we have a folder with the name docs, and here I'm saving it like Catalan data Excel. You can give any name. So I have prepared an Excel file with my test data. Now I'm moving to the Catalan Studio, and here I'm going to edit again like data files, new test data. What kind of test data you want to use? So I want to use it from the Excel, and here I'm giving like Excel data. You can give any name here. Description, if you want to give description like why you are using the data from the Excel, so I'm saying okay, reading data from Excel for a registration scenario. So you can give any name here. Click on OK. A new data file is created. As of now, we did not pick data from the data file. So here we have browse button by which we can select data file. So I'm just going to the desktop. There we have data folder, docs folder. Inside that's my data file. So I've selected that. It is loading data from the Excel sheet. If you want to read data from the first sheet, it's by default selected here. If you want to read from the different sheet, you can select sheet here. But as of now, I want to read it from the first sheet. If you remember, in that sheet, first row I have created for header. So there is a checkbox which is already checked. It says use first row as a header. Yes. If you don't check it, first row will also be used as a data. But in my case, it's a header, so I just selected that. Use relative path. As of now, it is taking the default path. Right? It's showing in my system. But you can generate the relative path. I'll show you this relative path concept later on. So as of now, I have generated a data file which is reading the data from the Excel sheet. Control S, saved. So one data file is generated. As of now, we are not using it in our test case. I have just generated a data file. We have just created a data file. So that's the first data file which is collecting data, which is picking the data from the Excel. Now I'm coming to second one. I'm going to create a new test data. This time I'm going to cover CSV. So if you know, CSV is the comma separated file. I'm just coming to the notepad and creating a data file here like ID, or I'll say username, comma password, comma DOB. And we can maintain our data here like I'm saying username is equal to testing1, password is equal to hello1, DOB is equal to 12/12/1985. So it's a comma separated file in this I'm creating. I'm just copying and making 4-5 entries. So testing 2, testing 3, testing 4, testing 5. In the same way, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, hello 5. And I'm maintaining here like 11, 10, 11, 10. I've just changed the date as well. Now I'm saving it somewhere. So I'm saving in the same folder docs, and here I'm giving the name like CSV Catalan dot CSV. So extension is CSV. I have just saved it. Now I'm coming to the data files, and this time I want to read data from the CSV. So just create new test data. I'm saying CSV reader. What kind of data, what type of data you want to read? This time I want to read CSV file. Again, description you can give like reading data for ABC functionality. You can give any name. Click on OK. Now again we need to select files, so I'm going there and CSV catalan.csv. What's a separator? By default is comma. You can go for tab, you can go for semicolon. So you can take 3 separator, either tab, comma or semicolon. Again, use first row as a header or relative part. That's similar to XLS, similar to Excel. So now my data is coming from the CSV. Just to save it, Control S. So 2 type of file we have covered. One in first we have covered Excel, and then we have covered CSV. Again, just reiterating, we are reading the data as of now. I'm not using that. in the coming session, I'll show you how we can use this data in our test cases. So in this session, we have covered how we can create data files and what's the use of the data files. In the coming session, I'll show you other options in the data file like database and internal. That's all we have for this session. Thanks for watching this video.